My name's Clinton Hunt. I'm 34 years old. I recently graduated from Cal State University, Sacramento in the psychology department, and I am wanting to get into the field of mental health. It's basically, by definition, the psychology is the study of anything and everything. Before I even decided to go back to school, I was just your average mid-20-something-year-old who decided that I wanted to figure out life right after graduation, and somehow I was just kind of partying. Like, I lived by the beach. I was hanging out with a lot of like pro surfers and skaters and just people who are like completely on the opposite side of the socioeconomic scale that I'm familiar with, and a lot of dumb decision-making skills came about that. So after all that, I just kind of went through this phase up until when I was about 25, 26. I got this acceptance letter to Sac State, but I didn't have a home, and I was very estranged from my nuclear family. The best decision that I had was to move in with family who I knew I couldn't trust. I was sleeping in the living room and paying a lot of money to be there, and it just got difficult to the point where once the pandemic hit, the plans that I originally had to move out didn't pan out, and so I ended up having to stay longer. So I started coping with maladaptive behaviors, which was like heavy drinking, heavy smoking, and just being highly functioning in that realm. I left the house that I was living at and started gig driving, and then I was going through the Groupon app and staying at hotels for good prices, and just kind of paying off those hotels through financial aid and gig work. After a conversation with one of my professors, she mentioned the CARES program, and I ended up getting an interview with Sac SelfHelp.
My name is Janella Arnold. I am one of the team supervisors in the interim housing department. 14% of students in our 2 to 4 year educational institutions experience homelessness, and combat that with COVID-19, it has exacerbated the situation. And so that's where we come in at Sacramento SelfHelp Housing with helping to house those students. So the CARES program is an office at Sacramento State, and they help clients or students who are experiencing food and housing insecurities. Where Sacramento SelfHelp comes in is that we help with the housing piece. Currently we have 15 students that we house in our 4 houses. 3 of them are co-ed, and 1 we have which is all female.
Yeah, once I qualified for that, I ended up moving into a house. Fast forward to now, and yeah, I'm working at Sac SelfHelp. I'm a housing coordinator. I still work with Janilla. She's been very awesome and supportive still. And I graduated, and now I'm just focused on the next step.
I think Clinton was so successful. One is because he came with an open heart and a willingness to actually work the program. I think my favorite part of working with Clinton is just really encouraging him and actually seeing him actually graduate and seeing where he started and just seeing his goal and watching him achieve his goal. It really just gave my heart joy.
Right now I'm just working on myself to better myself, and it's it's not like a linear plan, but it's definitely there. Don't be afraid. It's not easy. It feels like a side quest, but it's all part of the journey, really. It's just, all it is just practice, practice, practice. If you want to sober up, ask questions, look towards your peers, cut off people who aren't good for you. And if you're at Sac State, get in touch with the CARES program, get in touch with Sac SelfHelp, get in touch with any source of resource available.